like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like I just don't get how he is still employed. We gotta talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number one seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 a night.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's In-Game Live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. In-game live, a special edition, March Madness style. Let's do this thing. SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. I am Gabriel Morency. We're going to be kicking it with you for the next 3 hours, so we'll be with you for the night session here tonight. We're getting ready for tip-off once again in the Mile High City. The Triton fans are fired up, and there's a bunch of, I don't know what they are. I guess they're like mermen or something like that. I don't know. They got a bunch of white beards and stuff. But the fans are fired up. The Michigan band is fired up. We're ready for tip-off. We've got action going on right now as we speak, and a bunch of Big Ten action is going to be in the late-night cards tonight and tomorrow night. UCLA, that's right there, a Big Ten team right now. UCLA are up a 10 spot on Utah State. 2.5 left in the first half. The Drake. Gotta love the Drake. The Drake. 61-55 right now in Missouri. Drake have been leading all game. Missouri, very similar to the Clemson and McNeese game, where McNeese led all game. Clemson stormed back late. Very similar. Missouri are trying to storm back late, but it looks like it's going to be too little too late. They're down 6 with over a minute left, little more than a minute left right now. Omaha. Say what? I bet Omaha under 65.5 points. I thought that St. John's would bang them on the boards tonight. Omaha up 7-0 right now on St. John's. This game has just started. We're 4 minutes in. St. John's down, football style, 7-0. All right, UC San Diego and Michigan. We got some best bets for this game. You know where I'm going here with this one. I get it. UC San Diego are trendy, and, some of these trendy picks do hit. As we saw, McNeese State hit, right? The Drake is on the verge of hitting. UC San Diego are on a 15-game win streak. They're the number one team against the spread in the country. So amongst the, the bettors and the hipsters, people have loved them all year. But the point spread's down to 2 right now. Michigan are minus 135 on the money line right now. And it should be noted, as good as UC San Diego are, they really didn't play anybody. When they did, they lost. They lost to San Diego State. So they beat Irvine. This is a big step up in class. The Michigan Wolverines are being underrated coming into this basketball game. A lot of talk, they played on Sunday. Now they're going to play on Thursday. And, it's not ideal for them, but whatever. They've had four days to get ready for this game. UC San Diego don't have size. All right, their biggest player is like 6'7", 6'7.5" type of deal. Michigan have 2. 7-footers on the floor. So let's get after it here. Michigan money line, you want to lay the 2, it's up to you. I think this game's going to get over the number just barely with some late threes and stuff by UC San Diego. I'm looking for Danny Wolf, the Larry Bird lookalike. Danny Wolf, over 13.5 points. He's gone over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, and he's going to have a big size advantage in the paint. Golden, his prop is like 19.5. It was a little high for me. I think it's a Danny Wolf night tonight. We got a 7-footer. This kid can shoot. He can do it all, this guy. Very, very talented and skilled player. I think UC San Diego would have a problem. They had a problem with UC Irvine's big man. Now you got to deal with 2 of them. I think Golden has a big game, but Golden's prop is 19.5 points. A little bit high for me. So let's go Michigan to win the basketball game, over 144. Danny Wolf, over 13.5 points scored. If you look at Danny Wolf, this guy like owns the boards, man. This guy like racks up 12, 14, 15 rebounds and stuff. You know, he gets more rebounds than Golden does. It's 9.5. I'm looking for Wolf to clean the glass against an undersized UC San Diego Triton team tonight. And Namari Burnett, number 4 on the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan, you know, they're not a great three-point shooting team, but they can be a streaky three-point shooting team. Donaldson can hit them. Cheddar will bomb them, but it's a lot of Cheddar. But Burnett is arguably their best three-point shooter. And I'm looking for Burnett. It's 1.5. His prop is 8.5. I think the odds makers are on to this, that, you know what, the kid's going to pop a couple of threes in this game. He's not going to go off, but he should, you know, take 3-4 three-point shots. And we got to get 2 of them. So over 1.5 for Burnett. Let's rock. This game's getting ready for tip-off. They're doing the player introductions right now in Denver. We got multiple feeds going on. And I do have one streaming service that I'm actually paying for, too. I do have one service here that they don't go to commercials. So I'm hearing stuff during the commercial breaks, and you get the bands. It's pretty cool. So you get the feel of the arena. So I'm seeing the pregame right now with San Diego and Michigan. San Diego State, of course, got blasted the other night. Now see what happens with the Tritons. So UCLA starting to pull away a little bit on Utah State, 39-25 right now for the UCLA Bruins. Omaha still at 7. St. John's only have 2 points, 5 minutes into the basketball game. And it looks nearly to be complete, guys. We've got 31 seconds left. Drake are up 10 right now, 65-55. So day 1 of the madness has begun. McNeese is the biggest upset of the day, but it wasn't really a shock. They were a hipster pick. We were on them, right? They were only 7.5-point underdogs. Clemson stormed back, and somehow the game actually went over the number, which that was like the biggest miracle of the day. Calipari and the Hogs get it done against the Jayhawks. That game was an entertaining game. There's been some good games. I know a lot of people have been like, there's drama and this and that. I've watched every game. There's been some pretty good games, like competitive late in the game and stuff, but we haven't had that one shining moment, buzzer beater type of moment, besides in the first game of the tournament with Alabama State, who did hang around with Auburn today, actually, and they did cover the number. All right, so we're getting ready for tip-off. The lights are now on in the building, so we should be tipping off in a couple of minutes here, I think in about 2 minutes. In Denver with UC San Diego and Michigan. UNC Wilmington and Texas Tech still on the board right now. Texas Tech are laying 15 points in this game. Total's 144. One thing with UNC Wilmington is they don't play at a very fast pace. It's a lot like Drake, right? Like they're efficient offensively, right? But they don't rush things. So they're gonna take time off the shot clock. Plus, Texas Tech are so relentless defensively, and Texas Tech also, go through those little, lulls of 4 or 5 minutes where they'll struggle offensively as well. Wilmington could get lit up and blown out, but I think Wilmington plus 15. I think they can hang around. It'll be around the number here. I'm not sure Texas Tech just absolutely blast them, but to me, the game of the night, and I think I'm not alone. Everyone's been looking forward to this UC San Diego, Michigan game, and we have begun the basketball game. Listen, the Tritons are the most trendy team in the country coming into this. Like I said, everybody had him in a bracket, and, you know, immediately when the bracket came out, all the panelists, oh, this is going to be the upset, and there's Danny Wolf with 3. So we gave you over 13.5 points with Danny Wolf. He just hit a 3-point shot to get the scoring started. Like, looking at this game right now, as already as it started, like, UC San Diego looks small. Like, this dude's under the paint right now. Like, he's like half the size of Golden. Like, this is like Golden from Russia, too. This is like some like Drago and Rocky stuff going on here. But yeah, Danny Wolf starts off the game with a 3. Like I said, Michigan won the Big Ten tournament, and Michigan come into this thing like 100-1, 125-1 to win the championship. Lot of disrespect for the Michigan Wolverines, who I think are going to get it done tonight against the UC San Diego Tritons. Guns pick steps up and in. Delano, the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart, the Steamroller, Big Card Julio. We're packed. Let's roll.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues, and the Michigan Wolverines have put 8 points up on the board to San Diego 0 points to start this game. March Madness has begun. I'm Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. We're going to be with you until 1 a.m. Eastern. So for the most part, through these basketball games. So like I said, Michigan off to a great start, 8-0. They're now laying 5.5. In-game totals 142.5. It closed to 144. Omaha had a 7-0 lead. Omaha, Nebraska had a 7-0. Let's call them Omaha Steaks. Omaha Steaks had a 7-0 lead on St. John's St. John's have now scored 10 points. They're down 12-10. Now they're laying 13.5. We're at the half now. Where's this one? In Wichita. Utah State and UCLA. UCLA are up 39-27. They're now laying 12.5. In-game total is 143.5 right now. Let's bring in Cam Stewart and Guns picks. Guns, good to see you, Cam. Good to see you. Guns, I'll throw it to you first here. Let's rock. Michigan and UC San Diego. The Tritons. The trendy Tritons. Everybody bet them down. Michigan closed at like minus 130 on the money line after hitting as high as 4.5 earlier in the week. Who are you on in this game? What did you do with this one? Did you bet this one?
I did. I bet this one. I did take UC San Diego, but there was something in my gut that told me I felt like, is this the wrong side? And then I started kind of analyzing how UC San Diego, and everybody talks about their turnover margin, how they create turnovers. I was like, they do it with traps and rotation. Is like just basically gravitating everybody to the strong side. But when you have 2 7-footers and you have a Danny Wolf that can throw cross court and hit open guards from the 3, I think there's going to be a weakness here with UC San Diego. I still am on them, and the line dropped. I got it at 2.5 earlier in the week. But I'm a little bit, it's not my favorite bet. I'll say that much. Knowing that Michigan has been playing very good right now. However, when you see them as a favorite, we've seen it. They can only, we've talked about this before. The games, they always play relatively close with their opponents. Are they going to get it done tonight? We shall see. But I am on UC San Diego tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Cam, UCLA up 39-27 at the half right now. I'm not a fan. We talk about it, the Mountain West. We saw what happened to San Diego State. So now you've got Utah State in this situation. Listen, Colorado State might be different tomorrow. They might be the isolated one. There's usually one team. Like we've seen in the past, Guns like Nevada have gone on a run. So, it's kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, the Mountain West, San Diego State. But the Mountain West generally gets murdered in the NCAA tournament. But they do usually have one team. Maybe that's New Mexico, but I liked UCLA tonight. They're up by 12.5 right now. 143.5, guys, is the total. So we're at 76 points in this game. I would expect there to be points in the second half. Utah State stumbled out of the gate a little bit. The total's 143.5 now, guys. For people tuning in, I think the 143.5 is a good play. But who do you have in this game, Cam? Utah State or UCLA?
Actually, Gabe, this is the only game I didn't bet this game, but I'm on your Michigan Wolverines big. That was one of my bigger plays tonight, so I hope they can blow these guys out. Sorry, Guns pick. It's nothing personal, but I'm just trying to pad my wallet here. I know Morency's a Michigan guy, Gabe. I do agree with you. I'll ride your over in the second half. Utah State's cold. And just to your point, you watch all these Mountain West teams play, just setting these guys, when they're running their sets, it's just like nothing. Like there's no, you know what I mean, Gabe? The isolation, I'm just like, they go around, shot clock, brick. Like it's a lot of teams, even Boise State can play that way. They go cold for long periods of time, and they're very hard teams to back. But I like your Colorado State comment. It happened before. They're probably the team to get the win. But go blue, Gabe. I'm with you tonight, and I will ride that over with you. But I'm on Michigan big tonight.
Guns, Omaha, Nebraska, and St. John's. I got cold feet. I was originally thinking, St. John's probably cover, but the number was a little bit too high. And then we saw today with Houston, in which SIU Edwardsville, got stuck at 40 points, went under their team total. And I decided instead of laying a number here to play Omaha under 65.5 points scored. Then they go off to the 7-0 lead. It has slowed down, so it's 14-10 right now with 11.5 left in the first half. But what was your opinion of Omaha, Nebraska, St. John's, Guns?
Yeah, this was the game that I wanted to stay away from because I figured St. John's would at least win this game, but I think there's going to be opportunities to fade them down the road. This is not a team that was even ranked in the top 25 when the season started. Don't forget here. And then you got to look at the variance between how good that defense is for St. John's versus how good that offense is for them. Their offense is in the 60th range as far as offensive efficiency is concerned per Ken Palm, but their defense is like first or second in the country. You mentioned Houston on this one. Houston and St. John shouldn't be in the same comparison. Houston's a different animal. Houston is on the same plane as far as their defense is concerned, but this is Houston has a top 10 offense. So with St. John's, there's going to be opportunities to fade them down the road. So I stayed away from this game overall just because, I figured the first game out the gate, they would just come out there and they could barnstorm them. And there was opportunities in the next game or maybe in the Sweet 16 that we could take advantage of St. John's.
Cam, what do you think about St. John's and Omaha?
I like St. John's. I think they pull away. It was a nice start for Omaha, and I like their garbage can thing. Yeah, let's beat up the garbage can, and they got wrestlers smashing the garbage can. Nice gimmick. I thought it was pretty cool, but yeah, that's their hot start. I think St. John's is going to come back and probably run these guys out of the gym, Gabe. I'd actually look at 13.5 live. I'm not sure what to do. What do you guys think about the total? The side in Utah State, UCLA. UCLA is laying 12.5. Would you take a bite with Utah State to keep it closer, or the Bruins going to murder these guys?
It's a little bit high,
okay.
I think.
Yeah,
Go
I
on,
think
Guns.
so too.
Yeah, I'm on UCLA. I thought this was a perfect spot to be taking them. I'm in this position right now that I'm staying away from the Mountain West teams, but I agree with you guys when you talk about Colorado State. Colorado State's a different animal, and you mentioned Nevada from a few years ago, but don't forget San Diego State made a Final Four 2 years ago. So I mean, there is
the title game. Yeah, they made a title game.
The Colorado State's red hot. Ride the wave. I've been cashing tickets with Colorado State left and right. We got to keep doing it.
All right, we'll hit those games and more on the other side. The Michigan Wolverines off to a great start in Denver. Their size has been a big advantage for them. It's 10-0 after the first easy timeout. 15.5 left in the first half. 10-0 Michigan Wolverines. Still laying 5.5, guys.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite Eight, to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes in ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6th. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, obviously we're basketball heavy here tonight. It's all basketball. Basketball, March Madness, but we'll sneak a peek at the NHL a little bit later on and let people know what's going on. You know, Cam's got his eye on it. I had a lot of NHL bets. I even checked in on some of them right now. But quick news. We've got the Four Nations League at SoFi Stadium, soccer, and it's down to the semifinals. Massive upset tonight. Panama. Dun, 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 dun. Panama knocks off the United States 1-0. It was 0-0 in the 93rd minute, and Panama scored. And, massive upset. right there. And we got Canada and Mexico about to go off the board, and they're coming out onto the pitch right now. So you got the anthems and all this stuff coming up. But Canada has come down to plus 210 right now on the money line. And I think Canada is the play here. I like Canada to win in 90 at plus 210. I like Canada to qualify, so they can win in any manner at plus 110. And I think Canada-Mexico goes under the 2.5. So those are my plays for this soccer game. But let's get Guns picks for UNC Wilmington and Texas Tech. And if you don't have a pick, that's fine, Guns, but your opinion on the basketball game. I think Wilmington, it's one of these games. I think it's going to be right around the number. This game reminds me of Wisconsin and Montana today, where I like the over the game. I bet the over, and then I got, I was like, you know what, I'm going to force this Montana play, even though I think they could, they might not cover it. I said it last night. I said with Montana, they're either going to lose by like 16 and cover, or they're going to lose by like 19 and not cover. And it's exactly what freaking happened, guys. They didn't cover by like 1 point. They were getting like 17.5. I think they lost by 18. So I could see this Wilmington game going the same way. They're getting 15, but both these teams play at a pretty slow pace, Guns. Wilmington's very methodical. They're going to chew a lot of clock up. What do you think about them getting 15?
What I look at here, and I just look at the sheer number of this game. So you have a 15.5 line here with Texas Tech. And you see a low total. You see like 143.5 right now. So what I consider a low total is anything under 145 in college basketball. And you have that here in this situation. So it leans me to the fact that we should be taking Texas Tech in this position. And Texas Tech, while I'm not like putting an official play out here on them, I do lean in that direction. I think Texas Tech overall in the tournament is going to be a play on team. This is one of the teams that I have one of my brackets where I put Texas Tech in the Final Four. I think this team kind of like fits the offensive and defensive efficiency that you need to win a tournament. I like this team to go very far in it, and this is just going to be the first step for them. And while UC Wilmington has had a great year, I think they're hitting a barnstorm here with this Texas Tech team.
Cam, what are you going to do with this Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington game?
Texas Tech's going to win between 14 and 18. Like, who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Like this game literally
has it written all over. You bet the game, you're going to be sitting there at the end going, oh, God, I hope this white kid off the bench on Wilmington that hasn't played all year hits a three.
Like, come on, Seahawks. Come on, you stupid Seahawks.
With free throws. This is what this is. That's all it is.
I literally just have action on it. I'd take the points, but you're right, Guns picks. Like, if Texas Tech, the problem with them is, and Gabe and I, we talk about this team, they rebound and miss. If they have any type of shooting game that is average, they can run these guys out of the gym. That's the thing about Texas Tech. They got rebounders, athletes. The problem is they go cold, right? And a lot of the time, they just can't put back simple putbacks and easy layups and stuff. They screw up a lot, but they should be able to take care of business, Gabe. But I'll probably bet the Seahawks because of the name. This game is like, you said it, like under my head. Like, that's a tough game, Morency. Like, you're telling me, like, this is one I actually rank these games. Like, this is like right at the bottom of the list.
You know what?
Anything could happen.
All right, we're here to gamble. I'm not pretending. I'm not in the super contest here, Guns. Right now, this isn't the Circa Survivor Millionaire. So, like, I'm gonna throw a pick out for people. I'm gonna roll the dice here. How about this? Give me the Seahawks plus 9 in the first half. First half plus 9.
That never sounds good.
Texas Tech, give me the Seahawks out of the gate, hangs around a little bit. You know what I mean, Guns? Give me plus 9 in the first.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this, Gabe. If this does hit and it is a close game at halftime, I've been doing this all tournament long, and I did it with Clemson on the second half. I tried to do it with Kansas, but Kansas, gross with their build. But I think there's a second half opportunity if this game is a lot closer than it is. Knowing this line is as big as it is, I think there's an opportunity to take this Texas Tech team in the second half. If, and I say if, the first half hits on UNCW.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to grab the 9, and then, spread comes down to 6.5, 7 or something, and then Texas Tech win by 9, 11.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite Eight, to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes in ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's do this thing. In-game live continues. Special edition. We got 3 hours with you tonight. We hope you're enjoying the show. Canada and Mexico have started from Mexico City. Inglewood, California. It's like a road game for Canada right now in Los Angeles, in Inglewood. And, oh, God. And Mexico just scored literally 45 seconds into the game.
Wow.
And the crowd's going crazy. Disastrous start for Canada. After USA gets upset by Panama tonight, Mexico literally just scored 46 seconds into the match. It could not have been any more disastrous for the Canadians. All right, 15-8 right now. So the Michigan was off to a 10-0 lead. And now UC San Diego put an 8 spot up on the board. It's 15-8 for the Wolverines. And too early to start looking at the conferences, guys. But, you know, there's all the talk about all the SEC teams. Texas got bounced by Xavier. Georgia got lit up by Gonzaga. Missouri just loses to Drake. So, like, this greatest conference ever stuff, it's like, all right, let's slow it down. But we called it, Cam. And Guns, we talked about it earlier in the week. And I said most of these sort of SEC teams, I think they'll get bumped off. But we're still going to have, like, probably 2 SEC teams in a Final Four, right? It's top heavy, like everything else.
Yeah, I like everybody talks about Florida. That's the team that I kind of worry about in this one. And we saw it last year with Auburn. Auburn win the SEC tournament in the conference tournament, and then all of a sudden they go into the national tournament and lay an egg early in the first weekend, for that matter. And then you have another situation with this Florida team, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this Florida team's so good. They're so deep. They're just playing exceptional ball." That's the team that I worry about, and they're going to have to play Maryland here at some point. And that Maryland team is really showing some stuff right now that I think that is a team that's going to be a problem for them. This is one of those teams that I think
the Crab Five.
The Crab Five is absolutely exceptional now.
I love the Crab Five. That's Red Lobster.
Yeah, Maryland's back, baby. Right up the road.
That's a good call, Cam. NIL, the Crab Five. They got to get a deal with the Red Lobster.
Oh, yeah,
still
like, what are you
open
doing?
anywhere. You know what I mean?
We're the Terps. We had to remember the Crab Five. We dines at Red Lobster.
They should change they need to change the mascot from turtles to crabs. I mean, it has to. I mean, there's a stigma there with college. I get it. We shouldn't probably do that now that I'm thinking about it. I digress. But yeah, I think Florida might be in trouble. Auburn's one of those teams I have in my Final Four and maybe in the championship. Tennessee's a team that we have to watch too.
I think Tennessee are dangerous. To me, Auburn, you're right about Florida in that people have made them out to be invincible right now almost, right? That there's no way like, oh, Florida. And even when I did my bracket and I'm looking at futures, I kept on getting Florida versus Duke and this and that. And, I kept, Florida was right there. But they're not invincible. Their coach doesn't have any really, like, when they get into these close games, we'll see what happens. But to me, Auburn are the vulnerable one, more so. I just don't fully trust them. I know they got knocked off in the first round last year by Yale. And for the record, that was a painful one tonight, guys. God, I had Yale +8, and they lost by 9. It was right there. It was just like they missed the last two threes that they took.
Side. I was like, I couldn't believe it was that close. I texted A&M, so I'm sorry.
Unreal.
Me too. I sort of gave up on it. I'm like, they're down by 13 all night. And like you said, it was like 13 guns with like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. And Yale just, Texas A&M were missing the free throws. Yale were not quitting. And I was like, all right, guys, you got it down to 9. You got it down to 10, and you got the ball. If you hit a 3. And another thing, too, this was funny today. How many times, guys, did you notice today watching the games? There was one, it was the Montana-Wisconsin game. The spread was on the line when the scrubs on Montana took the 2 threes. And the announcer go, the crowd are really pulling for the kids that don't get to play. It's like, no, dumbass. The point spread's 17, and they're losing by 18, and he's shooting a 3 for the cover right now, right? And you just hear, and he misses, and then he got the ball again, and you just hear like, and he missed again. It was like everybody in the arena is betting, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's amazing.
22-10 Michigan.
I was at the ATN tournament on Friday, and that was the same element. I had everybody, it seemed like in the crowd, it was a VCU crowd, had VCU on the State Bonaventure, and you see people kind of like, biting their nails a little bit. I go, that guy bet, that guy bet, that guy bet. It was fun.
It's more than ever now. It's definitely more than ever. All right, so you're actually in Maryland. So speaking of the Crab 5, they had they ended the season strong. They get a trendy team. We'll get people updated. We'll go over some of these games. We'll hit tomorrow now. So the current number is 10.5. So the Terps are like 10.5 to the Lopes. Grand Canyon, trendy team. Grand Canyon. This isn't the best Grand Canyon team, but what do you think about the point spread here? Is it too high, too low? Total's 150 as well, Guns. What's your opinion on Grand Canyon and Maryland?
I love Maryland tomorrow. I think I've been in a position just like I did with Yale. I love to fade these public darlings. Everybody wants a Cinderella story. Well, the Cinderella slipper doesn't exist in this game. I think this is going to be a perfect Maryland spot. And when you look at the numbers, there's 3 key statistics that Maryland has an advantage at. Turnover percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage on the offensive side. They have the advantage in this game, and we need to back teams in the tournament that are better free throw shooting teams, 3-point shooting teams, and they don't turn over the ball a lot. And then you just have to look at Grand Canyon. This is the toughest matchup that they've had all season because they face a 254th toughest schedule in the country. And then Maryland has just excelled as a double-digit favorite this year. 4-1 ATS between 10 and 20-point favorite. And they're also 9-4 ATS as a double-digit favorite overall. We need to back the Crab 5. We need to back the Terrapins in this situation. Give me Maryland -10.5 as the play.
Yeah, you sold me. Listen, Lope stock has been pretty bulletproof despite this big stock market crash. But with that being stated, Grand Canyon goes down tomorrow, Kevin. You know I love the Lopes.
You know me, Gabe.
This is the end of the line. There's no Cinderella party. They can go back to the nice pools and party once they lose tomorrow.
I think about when you gave us those Grand Canyon stock tips, and I bought like friggin' like hockey cards or something instead. I don't know what the hell I did. All I know is I didn't listen and stupid, and we could have been rich. But
$182 a share this week.
Well,
it's in that range. It's almost worth as much as Tesla. As crazy as that sounds. Grand Canyon University stock, $180. Yeah, and people don't hate them.
I tell you what, I'm buying into the Grand Canyon women's basketball coach and her stock. My God, if you see that.
Good call.
Speaking of which, give me Michigan tomorrow against Iowa State, 12:35. Michigan women's basketball.
There you go.
We're on top of everything here. All right, so All right, Guns fired up for the Maryland game.
I'm Mark. I feel bad, Guns. I got Grand Canyon plus the points. I have them and Drake winning a couple. That's my thing. So one Cinderella slipper is good, but you're right. This one could be a problem. Like Maryland could run them out of the gym.
I'm surprised a little bit, Guns, that your Duke Blue Devils are playing when they are. When I saw the schedule, I sort of say, the Duke will be. I guess because they're expecting a blowout. So they get the afternoon slot here, but Duke are laying 32. It's been hit or miss with these massive favorites today. I laid the 18 with Tennessee, and it was freaking frustrating. They're up by 17 with like a minute left, or they got up to 18 actually, and it was one of those deals. The kid on the kid hit a 3. While the Terriers hit a 3, and they lost by 15. I did lay the points with Houston, and they murdered Edwardsville, but. Do you think Duke are going to light up Mount St. Mary's tomorrow with the 32?
I mean, I'm not going to be playing this one personally, but if it correlates to how Houston took care of Alabama State today, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It could be the SIUE. That's what I meant to say. But I think it could kind of correlate to a similar situation. And I'm not going to play this because the spread is just too high and the total's so low. When I see that, I kind of correlate that to being a massive beat down here by Duke. And we've seen Duke cover some big spreads this season. But
hold on, Guns. We'll hit this some more on the other side. We'll get a couple more picks from Guns as we roll on here.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite 8 to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes and ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on Sport.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
UC San Diego battling back right now. They were down 10-0. It's currently 27-19 right now. 27-19. Should be noted, Michigan are in the bonus, and they're going to the free throw line right now. There's 5.5 left in the first half. I swear, man, I'd be snapping right now if I didn't pay for this extra service. I got TSN Plus, Cam. I broke down the other day. Because the first 4 weren't on TV, and I was watching a stream, and the stream sucked. It was really upsetting me. I was bouncing around, and I was like, you know what? I saw it was $8. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll pay the $8. But it's been a good buy because they haven't been switching around the games. Like I'm looking right now, they do one game. And what game are they showing right now? Like they're not even showing the Michigan game. Like they're going to cut to it later. They're showing Utah State and I got Utah State and UCLA. And let's see, they don't have multiple. They got the same game on a couple of channels. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Saying.
Here it is. Here it is. I found. All right, they put it on the other one. There we go. So I can stop watching.
I don't want to rip anybody. I don't want to say anything. But when we worked at the network that we worked at, we had people that actually like were betting the games, were flipping back and forth when things got tight. Like this thing is kind of like now. It's now. Let's go here. Let's go here. Like I remember it was madness. We'd go game to game to game to game to game. Now I'm watching this stuff. I'm watching Drake, Missouri. It sounds like there's a friggin' like fireworks in the background. Their audio was cut out for 5 minutes to go to the other channel. It's on the same damn game. You probably did a smart thing, Morency. It's just not the way, man. Like they should have better access. You got 5 channels, put different games on different channels. Just my opinion.
So 28-19, 5:09 left in the first half. I'd like to see some points here. I did bet the over this game as well. I got a bunch of player props in the Michigan game. Oh boy, Texas Tech are leading 11-3 after 2 minutes. Ooh. That's not good. I got a plus. Never. I got that +9.
Here's a. I'm betting the Seahawks. It never ends well, Gabe. Never in basketball or football.
Well, I guess not. Stay away from teams called.
Not walking through that door.
All right, so Guns, looking at tomorrow's slate here. I'll rattle off the games, and if there's one that you like, we'll hit it. Baylor, Mississippi State, get the day started. Yeah, we talked about the SEC. The mid-tier sort of, SEC teams haven't been dominant here. Baylor have the pedigree. I think this is a winnable game for Mississippi State. For me, I like the over. Like, we don't have to pick a winner in every game. Like, I like the over 144.5 personally. I also think the Robert Morris in Alabama going to be a track meet. That's 166. Bama laying 22. Lipscomb are getting 14.5 against Iowa State. That's about 143. And then that Colorado State game against Memphis, Guns, that's at 2 o'clock Eastern, tentatively. And they're 125 on the money line, minus 125 against Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers. That's the first 4 games early up first. Anything catch your eye in the first 4?
Yeah, the one that I'm going to be doing, and we talked about it kind of earlier in the show, it's going to be Colorado State. I think if you're going to pick one team out of the Mountain West, that's the team that is going to be able to do it. They're just on an absolute hot streak right now. They're 10-0 straight up and ATS in their last 10 games. Granted, this is inside conference, so take it with a little bit of grain of salt. They're also 4-1 ATS in their last 5 neutral site games. 10-2 ATS is a single-digit favorite this season. But I think they'll look at the matchup on this one. They match up pretty well with Memphis. You have a Colorado State that is 43rd in offensive efficiency going against a Memphis defense that's ranked 40th in defensive efficiency. On the other side, Memphis is ranked 72nd in offensive efficiency against a Colorado State that's ranked 49th in defensive efficiency. I think the key to this game is going to be free throw shooting, which Colorado State has a significant edge against Memphis, and both teams shoot the ball really well from 3, but Memphis has the edge defending the 3, so there's a little bit of yin-yang there, and this is probably why the spread's so close. I just think there's just one Mountain West team that is going to advance in this round, and it's going to be Colorado State if you got to pick one, and they're the champs in the Mountain West for a reason, so yeah, Colorado State is the way I'd go in that game.
You're the Duke fan. What do you think about the North Carolina Tar Heels now? They absolutely smoked the Aztecs the other night. They are now 9-2 in their last 11 games, Guns, and I've been talking about their only 2 losses to your Duke Blue Devils, right? So 9-2 in their last 11. Since they made the lineup change, they have been a different team. Davis has come alive right now. They're laying 2 points against Ole Miss, another one of these SEC teams. And we talked about it, guys, right? Since when they started the first 4 in 2011. 13 teams have won multiple games coming out of the first 4, Guns. It looks like the North Carolina Tar Heels are going to be the latest ones to do it.
Yeah, you look at just look at both teams in those playing games on the 11 seed. Xavier's another one. Xavier and UNC are the teams that are absolutely backable in this position. And when you look at UNC, they did shoot the lights out. It's almost like this team was playing possum until February. And all of a sudden, you see this team kind of light up. Don't forget, this team has veteran guys on this squad that advanced to the Sweet 16 last year. So, yeah, this is a tournament caliber team. Davis, again, keeps his job, and they just exceptionally thumped San Diego State. And this is why I made UNC my best bet the other day. I just think this UNC team is a juggernaut. They're playing an Ole Miss team that is probably scared in their boots to play this UNC team, seeing how good they were shooting in Dayton in the first game versus San Diego State. A good San Diego defense, by the way. So, yeah, I think the only spot to take on this one, if you're going to take this bet, is UNC.
Why are they playing Friday, too? Didn't they play Tuesday? They were the first ones up. Like
No,
they sort of
Wednesday, right? No, you're right. They did play Tuesday.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
they played Tuesday.
Yep.
Seems strange to me. I was like, you get an extra day here. That's an advantage North Carolina, a little bit more rest even.
I think North Carolina, Gabe, as crazy as it sounds, I might sound like an idiot or I might be a genius. I think they can go to the Final Four.
I can't disagree with you either. And by the way,
let me get my bracket open up. Who's up next if they win this one? Let me just see. So who's
I think they beat anybody.
Sorry, Guns, go on. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying, it was like, maybe you just mentioned that they played on Tuesday. Maybe it was the committee, you had the UNC guy that was in there.
No one's bringing him up. He wanted another conspiracy. I'm like, what the hell? What are they playing Friday for? You guys played Tuesday.
Yeah.
Supposed to play
There's
Thursday.
another one right there. Extra day rest.
We'll wrap up with Guns. I told you. Wrap up. West Virginia, she shut up. But we'll wrap up with Guns on the other side.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite Eight, to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes and ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claim if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
A special edition of In-Game Live Sports Rage Edition continues. I am Morency. We're normally on at 10 o'clock Eastern, but we're going to be with you for an extra hour, old school, 3 hours, 180-minute full court press. So we'll be with you 3 hours. And again tomorrow night, we're going to be on from 10 until 1 tomorrow. And the late night games tomorrow, Liberty and Oregon. You want to talk about a break for the Ducks. They're a 5 seed. They play in Seattle, and they get the last game. They get the most rest. They host Liberty tomorrow night. Bryant at Michigan State. That's the bad news. I got to be on the air during a Michigan State game tomorrow night. Bryant from Rhode Island, baby, getting 17.5. Paul Bovey could go to the game, but he doesn't want to stay in Cleveland. We had a guest last night. Paul Bovey's a great better Guns. He's the definition of a sharp type guy. But he's like an eccentric, like New York type dude. They're like, he's got a bad back or something. He's literally like one of those Mayo clinics in Cleveland. And so I say to him, he comes on last night. He goes, yeah, I'm in Cleveland, guys. He goes, I went past the baseball stadium. I think the Indians start next weekend. He goes, I'll tell you what, you get past 2 blocks past the stadium. And he goes, not much there. He goes, I won't be staying in Cleveland very long. And then he sort of like muttered off, like he sort of had like a disgusted look, like, won't be staying in Cleveland. And then I said to him, the NCAA tournament's in Cleveland, Paul. He goes, yeah, I know. My buddy just bought tickets and put a dime on the game. I was supposed to go to him, but I told him I don't want to stay in Cleveland. And I told him, Kevin, I said, you're a horrible friend, Paul. Like, you're leaving. He goes, well, we'll see what happens. You think they can cover the 17.5 Guns? But if you don't like that game, but Xavier, Illinois is a great game tomorrow night. That's going to be a fun one. Xavier look hot right now. Caldwell's they got the athletes to play with Illinois. Illinois are inconsistent. And I wanted your take, Guns, on Oklahoma and UConn. UConn are up to 5.5 right now. I don't know if this is anti-SEC thoughts, but suddenly money's coming in on UConn, Guns.
Championships. This is a down year for them. They are a favorite in this spot, but like Oklahoma has been playing as a dog and been absolutely red hot right now. This Oklahoma is just a backable team, especially in the dog role. I think from both situations, when you look at this one, it's very hard to pick a game on this one. The one game, and I don't mean to transition on this one because I want to talk about the gun belt. I mean, the Sun Belt, people call it, but it's the gun belt in my mind. I want to talk about Troy versus Kentucky on this one. I think Troy's in a perfect spot to get this one. This kicks off at 7:10 tomorrow on the East Coast. Troy's offense has played well, and it kind of predicates into Kentucky's weak defense. You look at Kentucky's defense, they're ranked 341st in turnover percentage, 289th in defending 2-point shots, 127th in offensive free throw attempts per game. And then Troy's just on a hot streak right now, 8-1 straight up in ATS in their last 9 games. And Kentucky has not performed well in this spread situation as a double-digit favorite. 4-9 ATS as a favorite of less than 12 points and 2-6 ATS versus non-conference opponents this year. We may see an upset. I'm not saying it, but I might be saying it. I'm just going to take them on the spread on this one. I think Troy for the gun belt, as I've been hitting Sun Belt plays left and right this season. Troy plus 11.5 is the spot I like tomorrow.
And Gabe, I got to tell you, Oklahoma's being disrespected. Look how hot this team is ATS. Win, 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 win. That's so they got 5 in a row against the spread. They at Texas win by 4. Missouri, they kicked their ass. They won by 12. They lost by 3, but covered against Ole Miss. They lost by 1 to Kentucky. They beat Mississippi State. Like this Oklahoma team, like that's what I'm saying. That number, like if that thing hits like it's 5.5, 6, like it's Oklahoma or nothing for me. I'm not laying that kind of 6 points, 5.5 points.
I'm with you.
No way.
Yeah.
They got respect. They got respect from the committee despite their record, right? You know what I mean? Because of their tough schedule and the wins that they had down the stretch. All right, so Michigan gets a late basket, and they're going to the line here. 40-27 right now, Wolverines with 1 second left in the first half, and they're going to the free throw line. Golden. Is it Golden going to the free throw line? Yes, it is. Yeah, Golden's going to the free throw line. He's got 10 points for the record, Golden. His prop tonight was 19.5, so he's got 10 points, and he's shooting a free throw right now. All right, last one, and we got to be quick. So actually, I'll ask you, Guns. We got 30 seconds. Where can people find you online, Guns? Great job tonight here. Where can people see you tomorrow and over the weekend?
I'm going to do a show right after this. I appreciate you having me on. Go to the Guns Picks channel. And by the way, you can watch this later. You stay with these guys for having me on here. Go check it out, Guns Picks channel, and also check me out on all social media platforms at Guns Picks, GUNZPICKS. I appreciate you guys having me on. Love it.
Awesome stuff, Guns.
Back on anytime you ask me, boys. Let's go.
Good luck, guys.
Yep.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite Eight, to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes in ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's do this thing. In-game live continue. Special edition. Sports Rage in-game live. We're going to be with you until 1 a.m. Eastern this evening. Second half not going so well for Utah State right now, Cam. They're getting lit up. 63-42 for the UCLA Bruins right now. The total's not going to get there anywhere close. And you know what? This is one of these deals. There was so much talk. Well, not so much talk, but if you analyze these teams, Utah State got talked about like they were a good team. They're terrible defensively. And, you know, UCLA are a physical team. They crash the boards. They get second chance opportunities. And Utah State give up a lot of second chance opportunities. So Canada hanging on right now 1-0 after they gave up the goal in 45 seconds. Mexico nearly just scored again, but still 1-0. But UCLA, it's a rout right now, 63-43. Cronin getting it done. The total's 133.5. So I don't know. Maybe if there's a late flurry here, but I expect Utah State's about to give up soon here. We're at the half. St. John's 33, Omaha 33-28. They're getting 15.5 now. Total's 137.5. The only play I played in this game was team total Omaha under 65.5. They're at 28 at the half right
What was your Utah State line, your total?
It was it closed high. It closed at like 145, 146, I think.
Yeah. Crazier things have happened. Yeah, live line.
I got it higher. I got 152.5 plus 105. So I think it was like,
that could be in trouble then. Utah State.
But Utah State's not going to try. Like, it won't be like a flurry. Like they're getting lit up. Like it's over.
Yeah.
We're at the half. Michigan's up 41-27. My Wolverines are laying 10.5. Total's right on the number. It closed at 144. It's 145.5. UC San Diego did start to score as the half went on. And I got Wilmington plus 9 in the first half against the Red Raiders. They're battling. It's 21-12 right now. So if it ended right now, I'd get a push. End the half. End the half. Let's bring in Dave Delano, our main man. Get Sports Strong. HitThePick.com. Good to see you, Dave. Happy March Madness, Delano. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here on arguably one of the best sports weekends. I think the best sports weekend of the entire year. So glad to be here talking some hoops with you guys.
All right, so let's get down to business here while we're at the half of Omaha and St. John's. What did you think about this game before? They were laying, 18 and a half at closing time. It's 15 and a half now. They're up by 5. I just played the team total, Omaha, under 65 and a half. I thought that they would struggle on the glass, on the boards. So they put up 61 points, guys, combined in the first. In-game total right now, 137 and a half. What do you think of the game, Dave?
Well, I think St. John's going forward. I think right now is a good time to jump on them. And throughout this tournament, St. John's is probably going to be a good team to live bet on, because one of the weaknesses with St. John's is they get off to slow starts. And then, Patino tears into them at halftime. But they've gotten off to a lot of slow starts. I mean, even earlier, you talk about games like this against a mid-major. They played Bryant, who's playing Michigan State tomorrow. But they played Bryant earlier this season, and we're only up by 4 at the halftime. That was a very competitive game. They ended up winning by 22. But St. John's, they do this quite a bit. They get off to slow starts, and then they pour it on in the second half when making adjustments. So I'm not too surprised by the slow start. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to still see St. John's cover. But going forward, and that's another reason why I don't have them go into the Final Four, because eventually I think they're going to run into a team when they play Florida that it'll catch up to them. But, yeah, St. John's probably a good live betting team, because you may be able to get some better numbers in like this situation here.
You're right, David, and good call with the slow starts, and it happened once again tonight. But you're right, they're like a boxer, a 12-round fight camp, St. John's. First 6 rounds, okay, but then by the time you're in the 9th and the 10th, they don't let up. You're getting tired. They don't let up. Thing with St. John's, that's it, Dave. It'll catch up to them eventually, because they're not a good shooting team, right? They outwork you. No. They out-New York street ball you. They crash the boards. They're well-coached. Right, they're like a street ball team, but they're not the greatest shooting team. Up 5 right now, but they generally do pull away from teams as the game goes on. Dave, did you get caught up in the UC San Diego Triton hype? They were a trendy pick. Wolverines ended up closing as 2-point favorites in the game. They're up by 14 at the break right now, 41-27. Michigan minus 10.5 now, ladies and gentlemen, and the over-under is 145.5. What do you think of the Tritons and the Wolverines, Dave?
Well, actually, this is a team I've been following this year, UC San Diego. And before the matchups came out, I was thinking this was a team that I probably would be looking to back. However, when the bracket came out and I saw that they were 12 going up against Michigan, I'm actually on the Wolverines. I took the Wolverines money line tonight.
Nice, good
We
call.
get to the 1.5. Yeah, we get to the 1.5, 2.5. I don't like to mess around with the points, but I just thought that this was a little bit of a bad matchup. I thought Michigan got a little bit of a tough deal being a 5 seed. I thought maybe they could have been a 4. To have them the same seed as Oregon in a different region, I thought was a little bit disrespectful after they won the Big Ten championship. And, Dusty May, he knows what it's like to be on the other side, to be that hot mid-major. So I took the Wolverines in this spot. I like UC San Diego this season, but when I saw they were playing Michigan, I didn't like this matchup for them. So I'm on the Wolverines.
Dave Delano in the house with us. Wilmington going on a little bit of a run. They've cut the lead to 7, 26-19 right now.
Let's get it.
They were down big early, too. They were down big early. It was like 11-3. Since that 11-3 started, they're chipping away.
We're actually scoring points. See that? What's that live total?
153.5. I see a 153.5.
Yeah, I got 2 books, 152.5 and a 153.5. Yeah, I don't know, man. This game could turn into a track meet. If Wilmington can score with these guys, this will be interesting. But I'm praying for your bet. You got 9, they're down 7. Let's go, Seahawks. Keep it close.
All right, let me get people an update here for the player props. I gave some best bets at the start of the show for UC San Diego and Michigan, some player props. I gave Michigan props. I went with what I knew. So let's check in here. Danny Wolf. All right, we got Danny Wolf over 13.5 points and Danny Wolf over 9.5 rebounds. He's literally in the middle of both. He's got 7 points in the first. I'd like to see more from him. I would like to see a little bit more, but he's got 7 points in the first and 5 rebounds in the first. So I got over we gave you 9.5 rebounds and over 13.5 points. And this was a nice one I gave everybody, guys. You like this, Dave and Kemp? I gave Namari Burnett of the Michigan Wolverines over 1.5 3-point shots made. he's 2 for 3. We've already hit the bet. And he's the only one. Everybody else is 1 for 3 or 0 for this, 1 for 2. It's the one thing, Dave, knowing stuff. Like you said, I'm a Michigan fan, and I know Burnett's the best three-point shooter on this team. Everybody else is pretty erratic. Like, they should get him the ball more, but he's pretty good. He shoots like nearly 40%, this dude. It was 1.5, minus 115. I thought it was a nice pick. 2 for 3 already here. Oh, God. Mexico just scored again, but I think it might be offside.
So Mexico, so you're telling me USA and
It's
Canada.
offside.
So
it's offside. It's offside. Yeah. All the talk of USA-Canada final on Sunday, it's going to be Panama-Mexico.
Exactly. Bye, North America. See ya. Yeah, that's crazy.
Ticket brokers in LA will be happy. They'll make more money with Mexico and Panama than Canada and the U.S.
That's a really good point.
It was a little bit offside right there. All right, more with Delano on the other side. I think Michigan and San Diego goes over, guys. I think there'll be some points in the second half.
Which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday Inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We gotta talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number 1 seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 a night.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
In-game live, special March Madness edition continues. I am Gabriel Morency. Second half has begun in Providence with St. John's and St. John's at Omaha, Nebraska. 43-30, 17:29 left. Quick timeout right now. So we'll keep our eye on this game. And as Dave Delano brought up, guys, St. John's do have a history and a tendency this year of pulling away. A little slow start and then pulling away as the game goes on. And how about this, guys? They were 15.5 at the break. We played 2.5 minutes. They're now minus 20.5 suddenly. They're up by 13. Suddenly minus 20.5. UCLA are up 68-47. Michigan and UC San Diego. I'm big on Michigan here. I got a piece of the over. Our player props are sort of right there. Let me just make sure here. I don't want to triple click anything. But I think personally, guys, this game is going to get there with the total here. It's 41-27. You know, Dave, UC San Diego aren't going to tap out. They're a good free throw shooting team. Michigan also, they have a problem playing a full 40 minutes of, like, imperfect basketball. And that is pretty good on their behalf. Everyone talked about their turnover issues and stuff, but I could see San Diego on a little bit of a run. I don't think this is going to be a sweat-free second half for us, Cam, with Michigan here, but I'm going to go over to 145.5 in-game, guys. And let's check in here. 31-19 right now. 6.5 minutes left. Texas Tech and Wilmington. All right, Dave Delano, hitthepick.com. Check out the new site. Great site. A lot of good cappers on the site. Dave, Baylor, Mississippi State in the morning tomorrow. They're first up. Robert Morris in Alabama. Lipscomb in Iowa State. Colorado State and Memphis. We hit these games a couple of minutes ago, but we'll get your quick take on the first four. You like anything? You like any of the first four games tomorrow morning?
Yeah, those 8-9 matchups are always fun, but I give the edge to Baylor there. Edgecombe coming on. Obviously that's going to be a tight matchup, but I do give the edge to Baylor in that matchup. That Alabama Robert Morris game is kind of fascinating to me. I mean, Robert Morris, a lot of their metrics don't really look too good, but they play really well together, and this is a team I've been watching. That's a big number. It's one of those games I think I'm going to pass on that and just kind of enjoy it. I want to take Robert Morris, but that may be a little bit more of optimism, because the thing with Alabama, they play so fast. Robert Morris not the best shooting team that they could be up by 10 points, and then 2 minutes later it's at 25, and they're going to keep firing away. They don't work the shot clock, so that's a really interesting one to me. As far as the Lipscomb and Iowa State game, I like the over in that one. Iowa State, especially late in the season, they've been putting up some points. This is a faster-paced playing team than I think a lot of people realize, and Lipscomb's been putting up quite a bit of points as well. 142.5, and like you mentioned, even with this UC San Diego Michigan game, I mean, second half, these teams, Lipscomb, you don't know when they're going to be back. They're going to stretch the game out, try to score late. You're not going to see as much, 2 minutes left, them just letting somebody kill the clock. So I like over the total in that one as well. And what was the other early game? I know there's three of them.
Colorado State. Memphis, Colorado State.
Oh, yeah.
The trendy 12-5 with Colorado State.
I like Memphis in this one, but one thing I'm wondering, if Colorado State wins this game, one thing that's going to drive me crazy as we're looking at this Colorado State being a 1.5-point favorite, someone's going to say, the Rams shocked the world when they're actually favored in this game, because some people just look at the seedings, but you even look at KenPom, they're a little bit higher rated. But I actually like Memphis in this one. I think this is one of the better teams Penny Hardaway's had when you look at how they play together. Maybe not based off of NBA talent. They looked really good in Maui earlier in the season. Beat UConn, had some big wins there. They weren't just blowing people out in their conference, but when you get to the those conference play, teams know you. And I think that Memphis, there's been so much hype on them in the past, and people are a little bit down on them here. I actually like Memphis to get the win in this one, and I just have a hard time trusting the Mountain West a little bit still.
What are you going to do, Gabe, with that total, that Alabama Robert Morris total? Like, it's 166. We talk about it being the highest of the day. Robert Morris, looking at their action, I know they play Horizon League, but they score a lot of points, this team, right, Gabe? Look at them versus Youngstown and stuff. They got a lot of games into the 80s, 82, 94, 76, 81. So, you know what I mean? They beat IUPU when they scored 106 in a game before. And Alabama's going to be, they might get 90-something themselves. What do you think? Does anybody got the stones to take it under, or do you think this thing can get there? 166. As you say, you need a clean ride.
Yeah, I think Alabama's been having a lot of clean rides. Yeah, I agree. It's over or nothing. No way I could take the under in this one. No. It might happen, but no way I could take the under.
Alabama scored 91 a game. Their team total is 94.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Bama hit 100 tomorrow. 103, 100 or so. What are you going to get from Robert Morris? Bama play fast. It's going to be overwhelming for Robert Morris. But Alabama do give up 81 points a game, right? So I do like the over. And one thing, too, I was going to say with Colorado State and Memphis, a good point, Dave, with Memphis. People are just sort of down on them, and they're overhyping Colorado State a lot. It's tough to trust the Mountain West. Now, it doesn't mean that every Mountain West team is going to lose, but I almost, like, from a betting perspective, I know Marquette are good, but I would rather get a full +4 with New Mexico than have to win the game with Colorado State. So I like where you're going with Memphis there. And Colorado State, quite frankly, are as trendy as UC San Diego are. Like, everybody loves Colorado State. And what do you think, Dave, of the New Mexico Marquette game? And Donovan Dent's a badass, right? A lot of the times, I think Colorado State's athleticism is going to be a problem. Memphis is going to be too athletic for them. So unless the three balls are falling for Colorado State, and it won't be as easy with the kids from Memphis in their face, they could have a problem. But Donovan Dent is a legit star, right? This kid is going to get to the rack. He's going to put points up on the board for the Lobos, and we're getting 4. We'll break down this game and more on the other side. In-game live continues. Let's roll. Second half has begun in Denver with Michigan.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite 8 to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes and ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sports.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Second half has started in Denver with Michigan and UC San Diego, and I didn't want, it was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I know this team well, and I said they have a hard time stringing together like full 40 minutes of imperfection. Nobody's perfect, but like if Michigan didn't have these little, 3 and 4 minute little sort of lulls or, of sloppiness, they'd be like really elite, but they do. And, the second half, just the way that this has started, right away the second half started, Michigan went to the free throw line, missed. They got one shot out of it. They got the damn rebound. Then they missed a 3-point shot. Now my boy Burnett just took a 3-point shot. It was basically like an air ball, barely hit the rim. And then UC San Diego take a 3, miss, get their own rebound, and Buddy on Michigan runs into the dude, and now he's shooting 3 free throws. Well, I'm telling you, suddenly they're going to chip away. And I brought this up at the half why I like the second half over too. UC San Diego are good at the free throw line. So suddenly it's a 10-point game, and we got 18 and a half left. So the second half could get close. Let's go blue. God, Cam, like you said, this is a sweat job. 35-26. I'm down by 9 with 3.5 left here, and I'm getting 9.
That's your number. That's your number. Imagine.
Why can't I get to 12 and a half? I wanted that 12 and a half, so I got 9.
Even 9.5 or 10.5 or 11. You're right on the number. Yeah, we knew this game would be crazy.
I'm gonna get a stream going for that one. Dave Delano in the house with us. Oh boy, UC San Diego just scored again. Here we go. And their bench is getting all fired up. It's March Madness. You can feel them. Their fans, everybody's getting into it. Michigan needs some buckets here. Don't get sloppy, Michigan. All right, Dave Delano, hit the pick.com.
Certain teams, they got your foot on your throat, you're dead. You know what I mean? And other teams just let them linger, and you'll pay the price, man. That's the thing. Every possession means something. You saw Clemson at the end, they were down too much to McNeese, and they made a crazy run at the end, and they just fall short. That's the thing. Look at Kansas. Played very, very sloppy against Arkansas. Took the lead in that game. When ice cold, Arkansas gets on their run. That's the thing. You can't take possessions for granted, and momentum is huge with kids. We talk about this all the time. They're not in the NBA. Right now, the fans are fired up. They're only down 6. Michigan needs to extend, or this can get serious quick. It already is.
Yeah, the Tritons, Dave, have just outscored the Wolverines 9-0 in the last minute and 18 seconds. Dustin May, Wolverines coach, has called a timeout. Here come the Tritons, Dave.
Yeah, I still think Michigan's going to get it done. I didn't think it was going to be a blowout or be easy. We saw that that weird things happen in the tournament, even though it wasn't as close as the final score. We saw that Clemson McNeese game end up showing a 2-point margin after it was 31-13 right before the half. So, these teams aren't going to go out. I think with UC San Diego, I know a lot of people out there, they may be thinking who's UC San Diego, or even wondering how Michigan's struggling with them. But this team's been D2 for a long time. This is actually the first time they've even been eligible to be in the tournament. So you haven't seen UC San Diego in this tournament before because they couldn't be. So this is a new program on the horizon. And shout out to them. First year eligibility, and they're going toe to toe with Michigan.
Mount St. Mary's now goes toe-to-toe with the Duke Blue Devils tomorrow. So it's been mixed results, right? Alabama State did cover today. Against Auburn. Now you got Mount St. Mary's in this spot, taking on Duke. Duke are laying 32. Do you stay away from these big point spread games, Dave, or do you get involved when you see these massive numbers?
It depends. Sometimes I get involved. I got involved in the wrong one today. I got involved with Tennessee, against Wofford, because they snuck in. They were 6th in their conference and had lost.
No, they were up by 18, man, with 30 seconds left. We nearly had it, but it came close.
Yeah, so this one, I think Duke covers. I don't know if I'm going to get involved, though, because, you start thinking about it, and they could win this game, 90-61 or something like that and not cover. So I don't think I'm going to get involved in that one. But one you were mentioning before the break with the New Mexico game against Marquette, I agree. I like New Mexico on that one, getting 4. And when you've got a player like Donovan Dent, when you have a player who can take over the game, sometimes with these mid-majors just historically who've gone on runs, not putting them in the Steph Curry category, but, Steph Curry, and even going way farther back with, Wally Zerbiak and things. You've seen guys who can put the team on their back, and sometimes you need a guy who can get a good big bucket, and I like New Mexico.
In-game live continues.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite Eight, to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes in ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. March Madness is here. SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. I'm Gabriel Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159. Dave Delano, Get Sports Strong on X. HitThePick.com. Dave said St. John's usually pull away in the second half. They are 60-36 right now. They're smoking them. 60-36. They've outscored them 27-8 in the second. I've got the Omaha team total under 65.5. They're at 36 with 11.5 left right now. UC San Diego. Here come the Tritons for real. Michigan up 45-42 right now with the TV timeout. Little under 16 minutes remaining. UC San Diego's bench have come alive. Their fans have come alive. And, you know, like I said, Michigan got sloppy. They fouled the kid taking a 3. Then after the same kid takes a 3, it takes a Kawhi Leonard bounce. Like, it bounced like 6 times and went in. Like, everything is going their way suddenly. UC San Diego have outscored Michigan 15-4 to start the second half. It's now 45-42 Michigan. Michigan now laying 3.5. In-game total for 149.5. I told you at the half I like the over 145.5. I still think it goes over to 149.5. All right, let's get back to tomorrow's slate with Dave Delano.
We got to give you the Barry Horowitz. UNC.
Oh,
Wilmington,
that's right. Yeah, we're at the half. That's right.
Ding dong.
UNC Wilmington, everybody. Hey, they're hanging. Forget about me and my bet, but like they're hanging. They were getting 15 guys. Texas Tech are only up by 4 at the half, 38-34. How about that, Dave? The Seahawks were hanging with the Red Raiders. Texas Tech exploded early. They're up like 11-3. But I took Wilmington plus 9 in the first half. They were down. They come back. They're down by 4 right now. What do you think of the second half of Wilmington and Texas Tech, Dave?
It should be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get involved in it. Obviously, I think Texas Tech. I mean, that's the easy thing to say, but I don't have any action on that one, so I'll be cheering for UNC Wilmington. Just why not? It'll be fun to see.
What do you think, Cam? Are they going to hang, or is this going to turn into like St. John's and Omaha? I think they're going to hang.
I do too. Hey, remember the UNC Wilmington Seahawks? For people that don't remember, Juan Dixon and was it Francis Gate?
Yeah, they did this before.
They had a game against Maryland there. This team is actually, when they get into the tournament, they could be a little bit tricky. Like, people don't understand this team actually does have some interesting March Madness history and pedigree. I am going to ride UNC Wilmington. Gabe, great pick by you. I wish I went harder on it, but this is more of a heart bet. They could roll, but the Seahawks, they got some confidence heading into the locker room. They're down 4 points. They were down 11. They cut it to 4. Nice little run at the end. They got some confidence. That's what an underdog needs. They just need to stay within the strength, like striking distance. And now these kids can believe. So I'm with you. I think they can hang.
All right. So we got a couple of minutes to mull that one over. We got a couple more minutes with Dave, and then Scott Steen, one of Dave's colleagues, our main man, the Steamroller, is going to step up in it. Vanderbilt and St. Mary's, intriguing game, Dave. And speaking of conferences, we all sort of judge conferences right now in this tournament and, sort of use it as a handicapper, right? Who do they play and this and that. Very impressive today. Look, we see that St. Mary's are pretty much Gonzaga's peer this year. And we just saw Gonzaga light up Georgia today. Now we got St. Mary's taking on a Vanderbilt team. St. Mary's aren't as explosive as Gonzaga are offensively, though, but St. Mary's, the Gales are laying 4 in the game right now. Dave, any opinion or thoughts on the Commodores and St. Mary's?
Not my favorite play, but I like St. Mary's. I mean, they did beat the Zags the first 2 times. Zags got them in the conference tournament. They played quite a bit slower. A lot of international players over there, just, very fundamentally sound, good defense, like to slow things down, grind it out. The thing is, the reason it's not my favorite, though, just when teams slow things down like that, we're looking at a lower scoring game. Sometimes in the tournament, you look at a 4.5 and, you're wondering, could it be 6 points and they hit a late 3 or late bucket? Seems like it could kind of be one of those bad beats. But if I am going to play it, as far as my bracket just advancing, I like St. Mary's, and I would lean on St. Mary's to cover against Vandy here on a neutral court.
North Carolina at Ole Miss is a fun game tomorrow. Total's 156. The Heels are actually 2-point favorites despite all the criticism. The Grand Canyon, the Antelopes are getting 10.5 against Maryland's Crab 5. Florida laying 28.5 to Norfolk State. Troy, Kentucky. We talked about New Mexico, Marquette. I like this Arizona team. They're taking on the Zips. Speaking of high totals, guys, 167 is the over. The total in that game, Akron and Arizona. What do you think, Dave, about some of these games? And there's some nice, fun games. The sort of the late slate's pretty good tomorrow night. Oklahoma, UConn should be a fun game. Xavier, Illinois should be a fun game. Liberty and Oregon has some potential. But what do you think about Arizona and Akron, Oklahoma, UConn? Any opinions on those?
Yeah, so I think this Akron game with Arizona may be one of the funnest games to watch. I stayed off of it because my Mac heart really wants to see the Zips. I would lean on them plus the 14.5. The thing is, Akron is they play extremely fast. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. So if they're making their threes, they can definitely hang in this game and give Arizona problems. If they go cold, it could be a long night. One of the reasons I didn't pull the trigger on it, though, they did have a game earlier this season. The Zips got beat by about 19 against St. Mary's, and Akron shot the 3 very well in that game, and St. Mary's really didn't, and they still beat Akron pretty soundly. So I'll be cheering for the Zips in that one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I like North Carolina to get the win against Ole Miss. I thought that they should be in the tournament. I think that I know the quad 1 record, I feel like that kind of turned into a little bit of a lazy debate that you heard it a couple places, and then everyone was saying that they didn't belong because you have to beat the top teams. But they lost to Michigan State and, overtime lost to Duke.
Kansas.
And he lost all Kansas. They had some very, very tough losses, and they were close and competitive. And I think that they're going to continue to play with that chip on their shoulder. And a lot of times you see teams playing in the first 4, get some of those, jitters out early. And, Ole Miss been sitting a little bit longer. So I like the Tar Heels to get it done and win the game. A -2, I just would take it on the money line there. And this would be a -2. But I like North Carolina.
Looking ahead, we'll on the other side, we'll give everybody the point spreads for Saturday's games. Liberty and Oregon tomorrow night. You talked about it, Dave. Michigan win the Big Ten. They get a 5 seed. They have to go to Denver on the West Coast. The Oregon freaking Ducks are a 5 seed. Somehow get the last game on the board in Seattle. So Liberty's got to go to Seattle, Washington to take on the Ducks. Ducks are laying 7. You know, Liberty are a good defensive team. I get it, and they slow things down a bit, but they're also a good 3-point shooting team. I think, Dave, the total's too light in this game. I'm going to be betting the over 139.5 in Liberty and Oregon tomorrow night. And Bryant, they're getting 17.5 against Michigan State. And Xavier in Illinois. Some fun games tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a underdog, I mean a real underdog being, plus 6.5, I think that Liberty can take down the Ducks. Ducks have been inconsistent. The thing that worries me about Liberty is their free throw shooting, but this is a top 10 3-point shooting team in the country. And even if you look at, in their conference, they destroyed some teams late in the game, late in the season. They play on both ends of the floor. I definitely like them to cover the 6.5. And, I'm rolling with Xavier as well against Illinois. Thing with the Xavier-Illinois game, that's one of those games that can make you look bad because if Illinois beats them by 10, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I know.
If Illinois loses by 15, I wouldn't be surprised. That's just the type of team Illinois is. They're inconsistent. And I think with Sean Miller, I think Xavier's more consistent as far as the effort that they're going to bring. That should be another really fun game to watch. 2 fast-paced playing teams and a lot of points.
HitThePick.com. Get Sports Strong on X. Dave, always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
They've made the Sweet 16 each of the past 2 years, but really getting beyond that, past the Elite 8 to a Final Four, that is where the Vols have struggled.
UCLA, I don't even know if they get past Utah State in that 7-10 matchup, to be quite honest with you. A Kentucky team that goes in ebbs and flows. Illinois at the 6. Which Illinois team we getting?
Only on SportsGrid.
Kind of like this. I know Bosa gets banged up and he doesn't play a lot, but for 1 year, I could take a shot.
And guys go there and they play well. Guys go there and they have success. Guys go there, they go to the playoffs. And look, I thought Von Miller sucked. I think Joey Bosa is way better than Von Miller, not back in the day, but he is now.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on Sport.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
The Gators' resume is excellent. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college. They've won at Auburn and at Bama.
Michigan State is 17-5 in quad 1, quad 2s. Are they a 1 seed? I think not. They may make claims if they make a run and there's craziness in the SEC.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. In-game live. I am Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Sirius XM Channel 159. It's March Madness, and we're breaking it down. We got our eye on Mexico and Canada. It's 1-0 Mexico in the 53rd minute right now. They scored 40 seconds into the match, man. And that's it. Canada have been pressing a bit. Still like 40-plus minutes left in this match, so a lot of stuff could happen here. I'm kicking myself. I wanted to click under 3, and I got under 2.5, but as soon as there was early goal, it went to 3.5. Sip. it's one of these deals, you know. There's a lot of bets going on at once, Cam. It's hard to stay on top of everything, especially live. It's
How many
I'm
active?
stressing out basketball. I got Michigan. Canada gives up the goal. My head's going to explode. I wanted to start swearing, but I realized I'm on the air. I was like, son of a, I was like, I can't believe this. I just told Tommy at the break after. I said, I just want to cry, Tommy. They scored 47 seconds in. Said I'm all excited for the game. They score right away. And now Michigan blew the lead. Now we got to sweat this out. How many bets?
Don't worry, they're fine. They're actually on a little bit. They're up 7 and stuff now. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine. 34 active bets, Gabe? What's your number?
I'm pretty light, actually, Cam. I thought you were going to be closer because earlier in the day I was a little up there.
Good. Yeah.
I got 20.
Wow, that's low, but you're going, you know what? Your major wager now, high units. So I got 59, but I got like 29 golf. You know me with my golf bets. Click, 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 click. Yeah, so I got issues.
Yeah, I don't really want to even look and see because it gets stressed me out. Yeah, like the size of the bets here, I'm looking here, like 250, 125, 125, 100, 500, 300. Like yeah, they're
mortgage money.
They're adding up.
They're adding up.
They're adding up. Let's bring in the steamroller right now as we stress out the games here. Steamroller, always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for joining us. I swear to God, guys, I was just panicking. I'm like, where's my $500 Michigan bet? Because I got Michigan in parlays with UCLA and everything. This is good news, bad news. Sorry, Scott, but this is good news, bad news. This is the problem when the book pays you right away in game.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at my account and I was like, oh, that's pretty good actually. I thought it was worse, but I didn't realize, Scott, they already paid me for Michigan. I put a $500 play on Michigan at this sports book. If they're up by 17, if the basketball team gets up by 18 or more points, you get paid as a win. If you have them on the money line only. Yeah. So I already got paid for the win. So good news, bad news. I already got paid. So if they blow it, Cam, I guess that's the good part of that book. Yeah. It's a good promotion, man. In hockey, if your hockey team is up 3-0, you win the bet.
Amazing.
It used to be 14 points in the NFL, but they changed it. It was like, yeah, that's too.
Enough is enough here. No.
Oh, it was awesome, Cam. I remember so many times that wide-eyed team would be up 14-0. You got to do it on the money line, though, Scott. So it's worth it almost, right? You know, you take some big money line underdog in football. They get up 14-0. You win your bet, and you can jump off of it and stuff. But now I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get the money after. So I don't have as much current action as I thought, Cam. That's why I got less action going on because they paid me. All right, second half. I'll shut up. Second half, and I hear you're hot. That's the word on the street, Steamroller. Texas Tech and Wilmington. What do you think happens in the second half? Texas Tech pull away, or we get a little drama and Wilmington hang around with them? They're getting 12.5 right now.
You know, I thought they were going to bury him in the first half, and Wilmington just stayed with them. That's a team that can shoot, man. And as long as they can stay a little bit warm, I don't think they can beat Texas Tech, but I think they can. I think if they can keep that to 12.5, as long as we don't get beaten scramble time. And that's the worst thing about this time of year is that teams will be down, 9 points with 11 seconds left, and they're fouls. It's over. It's over. It's like Ferris Bueller at the end of that movie. Go home. It's over. Stop fouling people. That's what I like about the NBA. Those guys know when it's done. They're just dribbling it out.
You sound like an under. Are you an under better? Because that sounds like. That's what I love about this, that they don't, right? That they actually they keep fouling, and I'm like, what? We got a shot. It looked like today that Clemson game had no business going over the number, but Clemson kept fouling and hitting threes late. They didn't quit, and they made it 69-67. Somehow. I hate that in the NBA, Scott, when there's like 2 minutes left in the game and the players start standing there talking to each other, dribbling. Hey, so how's the girl on Instagram? You doing good? Yeah. I heard you bought a new house. Hey, Kawhi? Right? And then they're like, then the shot clock goes off and they give it to the other team, and the other team just watches the ball roll on the floor. It's like, God, I hate that.
Oh, man. And so you're on this. You have the spread on this Michigan game too, or you just got the money line?
I got Michigan money line. I got paid on it, but I'm a Michigan fan. But I also have parlays. I guess I got paid for everything. So now I'm on the over actually. But Who are you on? You see the Tritons were trendy, and they just hit a 3, guys. 56-49, 9.5 left.
Man, that's a team, and we have ridden them so hard this year, and they've been so good to us. But I thought it's one of those things. Once the public finds out about it, it's over. It's like when you were a kid and you found a good indie band, and then like 3 months later, your mom's listening to it. You're like, okay, well that's done. So when everybody hopped on the Tritons and we drove that down to 2.5, I'm like, no, I can't do it. So I went the other way with Michigan laying 2.5.
Ooh, Michigan responds with a 3 after San Diego hits one. All right, good.
Michigan's going to win this game by double digits. They're going to pull away again.
They're up by 10 again. They are up by 10 again. One thing, the second half is going pretty quickly in UC San Diego and Michigan, though. It's 59-49.
Yep.
Right now, with 8.5 left, though, the second half has been ticking away.
Yeah, let's
and
go,
as far
boys.
as foul issues, they're both at 5. So, and there's going to be 6. We're getting closer to the bonus right now. So Michigan going to be one foul away from the bonus. All right, so second half, I'm going to get the bet in. Cam, are you going to man up? You missed out on the +9 with Wilmington. Am I giving the money back foolishly, or am I getting aggressive?
I actually bet it, but not like you. It's like I don't have the stones. Like you're going like
+12.5.
I'm just sprinkling around, like, you know what I mean, like beer money, and you're going like to buy property the way you're smashing these bets.
I'm doing what every sharp, sane professional bettor does. Goes all in day one of the tournament. It's got all in. 1.5 unit sizes for me. 0.
The SEC has 14 teams in this thing. Chances are they're going to get 1/2 to the Final Four, and Florida's everybody's choice.
It's the Florida Gators for me, and you're going to get them in round number 2, fresh out of the gate. That's what makes it tough. So for me, I'm not putting a lot of stock in UConn being back-to-back national champions at this point, as if that would give them a boost.
Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid.
Whoa. What the hell has this network done? Have they cut away from the Michigan game to go? And I'm confused if I change a channel now, but if they just cut away from the Michigan game to go to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks just hit a 3. They're down by 4 right now. I just took over 153.5, guys, in this, and I also took the points in the second half here with Wilmington. And you know what? They just hit another 2. like you said, Scott, they're shooting lights out right now, this basketball team. They're getting confidence, too. Like, they're squaring up. They're hitting tough shots.
Yeah, I think they kind of were sleepwalking there through the first 10 minutes of the first half or so. But, man, once they found their range, once they got comfortable, they've given Tech everything they wanted. And I like this Tech team. I think this is a good, solid squad. But I think Wilmington going to give them all they want tonight. If it'd be a hell of an upset if they could pull it off. But we'll see. I think. But I like you say you're getting 9?
9.5. I got 9.5 with Wilmington, and I got over 153.5. 41-39 right now, so they're hanging. 17.5 left. I think there'll be some points. They're going to start to rack up fouls as we go on. We're at a commercial break right now in the Michigan-UC San Diego game. 7:56 left. Michigan are up 10, 59-49. In-game total 142.5. And St. John's look like they're going to cover. I don't want to mush it for anybody. 77-49, so they are up big. 77-49 with under 4 minutes left. I got under 65.5 with Omaha, so as long as they don't just go 3 crazy here and get lucky, I should be okay. The steamroller in the house. All right, guys, let's get people caught up to date, guys, with the Saturday point spreads, with the winners of today. BYU and Wisconsin will now go head-to-head. The Wisconsin game came down to a 3-point shot made or missed today by Montana. They would have covered if they made it. They didn't because they didn't. It was as close as that. The game went over. Everyone liked VCU. I thought BYU's size would be too much for them. This is an intriguing matchup here, BYU and Wisconsin. But my gut, and I look at it, and I like the line here. The game is basically a pick 'em, guys. Wisconsin are -1 against BYU. I like the Badgers to beat BYU. Creighton get 9. Creighton looked great today. Creighton get 9 against Auburn. Total 150.5. Gonzaga and Houston. Big-time showdown. Gonzaga looked awesome. Houston looked awesome. Houston Cougars get no rewards. Neither of these teams do in their second game. Houston Cougars, 5-point favorites. Total 140.5. And the upstart McNeese State and their star student manager, Amir Khan and company, get 6 points against the Purdue Boilermakers. Totals 143.5. Steamroller. I don't know if you looked at these numbers already or if this is hot off the presses for you, but what do you think about these numbers for Saturday's games?
Yeah, this is brand new for me. I like Houston. I know the Zags came out absolutely smoking tonight. They have a 30-3 lead there in the first half. But this Houston team, man, the way they look today, that's the team that could go all the way and win the national championship. Now, they don't always show up like that, but I think this team looks focused and ready to go. I think 5 is a good number, and I don't think it's going to be there for long. I'll lay the 5 with Houston. I had McNeese today against Clemson. I had 3 dogs today that all won outright.
Nice.
I had Drake, which I think was everybody's favorite play. Mizzou, that's my alma mater, and I was absolutely devastated when I saw their first round draw. I knew they were going to be in trouble against that Drake team that just frustrates you. I never saw a team shoot that late in the shot clock consistently make shots. They're the real deal. I was on Creighton against Louisville. I thought that was a good matchup for them. I think this is a team that's playing good basketball right now. They've got a tough draw. I'll take a slight lean towards Creighton there, and I'll take McNeese in the points, man. Anytime you get those teams that play unusual styles of basketball, for years it was the backdoor cuts with Princeton and all that. McNeese State plays a very unique style in the way they slow the ball down, but still are very efficient on the offensive side. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of holes. They could actually pull one off here. They really could.
The thing is, too, people don't realize, you watch that game, they were hanging with High Point. Like, High Point was with Purdue the whole damn game, right till the end. You could look at the score and go, oh, they covered the number, but they were there. Right, Gabe? And McNeese is good.
They were. And Cam, High Point's best player got knocked out of the game.
Exactly.
Like 5 minutes into the game. One thing with Purdue, guys, give them credit. They got it done. They made the shots when they had to today, Purdue. But watching Purdue, guys, and I've watched them this year, but they really are a 2-man team. Like, they got 2 dudes. Like, you know what I mean? So, and also with Will Wade going to North Carolina State, but he's still at McNeese State, you almost know just the basketball gods are going to force him to coach this team another week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The SEC has 14 teams in this thing.